Music by Unknown Domini Beats, Source YouTube Audio Library, song and lyrics by PMK, song dedicated to the greatest person, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji. Yo man, salam to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Salam to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. For his life problems, he never became the gulam. He faced them, never applied any mulam. You go north or south, east or west, he was the greatest. He was the best among the rest. He gave the life test and won the game of life, and never a survival of the fittest. He never went abroad to study, but when he succeeded with hands open to welcome, the whole world was ready, since he was steady and behaved same with everybody. Initially he had no PC, later anybody was in problem. They wanted him to be in CC. He became our nation's president, that was evident, since he never took, he always gave. He was the lonely wave. Even after his departure, we never missed him, since he was a godly figure. He respected everyone, mature or immature, that was his high nature. He is still alive. He showed that by giving only we are really living, but never surrendered. He stood on his feet. Even hearing him is a greatest treat, touching his feet. I dedicate this awesome beat to the person Dr. Abdul Kalam, who always spoke for the nation. He behaved as the real human, a truly Indian, and never divided people on religion. He taught the whole world a simple lesson and gave India its space mission. He was like an ocean in which every drop was so pure with no sin. When he walked, earth had a positive spin. Even the dust would be converted to manure in the nearby dustbin. When he was around, sound used to make left sound, since he never showed ego and never left his ground. His life was an inspiration for the whole world transformation. He never showed attitude, that's why his character was higher than the latitude. He always showed gratitude, we all should be proud. He showed that what we can achieve with ability is nothing in front of simplicity. He could have earned money and made huge property. He showed that it's always the greatest taste is in living for the people and nation. Salam to Dr. Abdul Kalam. Salam to Dr. Abdul Kalam. For his life problems, he never became the gulam. He faced them, never applied any mulam. You go north or south, east or west, he would be the greatest among the rest. Proud to be Indian.